Hello, hi. Sorry that took me a while, but my image didn't seem to be very clear. I think it's better now. So, welcome. My name is Vicky, for anybody who doesn't know me, from Untitled Yoga, and every Tuesday I give a 40-minute Yin Yang Yoga class. Yin Yang Yoga basically brings two different approaches to yoga together. A Yang form, which is more active, moving, focused on the muscles, and a Yin form, which is passive and still, passive and still, and more focused on the deep connective tissue of the body. The idea is by bringing these two different approaches together, then we can encourage balance within ourselves. So today's class is going to be on preparing for sleep. Hi Shan, hi Sevench, Tracy as well, welcome. Let me know who's there. It's always nice to know who's there. And so today's session is on sleep, preparing for sleep, maybe if you're not sleeping so well, and also just for relaxation, for calming, for de-stressing. That's basically the main idea of today's class. So this class is not going to be particularly dynamic. We will be moving, of course, in the yin part, the yang part, but it's not going to be, you're not going to be getting particularly out of breath at all. So that is my introduction. So if you just want to start by moving into a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. Before I forget, if you have, we will need something today, either a strap or a scarf or a tie or just a long piece of material, then please do get that. That would be really helpful. Please do, run and get that now if you need to. Hi Rosie, in Milton Keynes. And when you have that scarf or whatever it is, then please come to your seat. Just close your eyes for a moment, just to come onto your mat, away from the day. Just feel any body sensations, the weight against the floor, the touch of the mat against your body, the clothes on your skin, how the temperature feels. So we'll start with some yin-like moves, but with our yin poses, we won't be in them as long as we would in a pure yin class. Just a minute or so for each. So we're going to start by stretching out the neck. So just drop the head to the left. Gently drop it to the left. Close your eyes if that's comfortable. We're going to start with the yin today. And notice where you're feeling the stretch on the right side of the neck. Notice if it's just the neck, or if it perhaps goes into the shoulder. Keeping the eyes closed if that's comfortable. I'll tell you when we move to the next one. Focusing on what you're feeling. And maybe you might want to move the head very slightly forward and feel that stretch change to a slightly different place. And very, very slightly backwards, noticing the sensations there. Maybe you can even feel a bit of compression in the back. I can. Then on the next in-breath, bring the head up and drop it to the other side. Hi, Helen. Now notice how this side feels. Does it feel like there's more tension on this side? The stretch on the left side of the neck, or less? Keep the shoulders relaxed as well. And once more, notice, is it just the neck? Or can you actually feel this going into the shoulder as well? Or not? And then again, move the head back a little bit. And forward a little bit. Just noticing the stretch, keep the eyes closed. And then bring the head forward so that you're stretching the back of the neck. Noticing how that feels. Can you feel that stretch moving into the back of the shoulders? Can you feel the stretch in the neck? Keep this relaxed, keep it passive. And just a little bit of yang within the yin. Move the head slightly to the right. Notice how the stretch changes. And slightly to the left as well. Keep the body relaxed, keep the shoulders relaxed. Then move the head back. And always only go to the point that is your natural stopping point. Then allowing yourself to relax into the pose without pushing. Where do you feel the stretch here? Is it more right on the front of the throat? More to the left, more to the right? Perhaps you can feel some compression in the back shoulders. Moving it a little bit to the left again, and a little bit to the right. And then bringing it back to the center. And now just notice how that feels. Keeping the eyes closed, how does the neck feel? How does the shoulders feel? And then we're going to work on the feet. So if you are kneeling already and you're okay to kneel, then just come onto a kneeling position, tuck the toes under, and then sit back so there's some weight on the feet. So what we're looking for here is a stretch on the soles of the feet and the backs of the toes. Now obviously, as I mentioned before, we want this to be your natural stopping point and not too much. This can be quite an intense compression on the front of the feet, the toes, and we don't want that. So by all means, play with the weight. It may be fine for you sitting on your heels like this. We're going to be in this for around just about a minute and a quarter. However, if this is too much, which it is for many people, then go forwards. Move the weight forwards. You can go onto your hands, for example. Find the point where the weight gives you a stretch on the back of the feet that's not too much or too little. And it may be much further forward. That's fine. Find where it is for you, and then just for the next minute or so, resolve to stay still. And if you can't relax into this pose, you're too deep in. So move your weight off, then relax into the pose. Always play with these yin poses to find the right spot, that sweet spot. 50 seconds or so here. You shouldn't be at a point where you are counting the seconds down because you're in pain. Absolutely not. You may be getting irritated and annoyed and perhaps bored of being in the poses for longer than usual. That's natural. That's part of the practice, in fact. Sorry for that ringing if you can hear it, by the way. I don't know what that is. But you should never be in pain. Okay, so on the next out breath, then bring your weight forward, gently untuck the toes. Put them on the floor, and then just, you can either stay on your hands and knees if they're feeling particularly fragile, or gently sit back on them for the rebound. Noticing the effect in the feet. I can see a couple more people have joined us. Welcome, welcome. We're starting with the yin today. Just a little bit more before we move into the yang. And if you missed my description at the start, then this one's not going to be particularly active today. We're just trying to really stretch out the body to try and relax it, basically. And then if you just want to open your eyes if they aren't open already, and we're just going to stretch the hands as well. So pushing the fingers back. So this time you can separate the fingers. We're aiming for a stretch in the palms and the fingers like we just did with the feet. Now you may want to have your hands this way. You may prefer to take them backwards. And remember to go to the point, your natural stopping point. You're feeling a stretch in the hands, maybe in the wrists, maybe even going into the arms. And you okay to stay here for around a minute, feeling that stimulation, but it's not hurting you. And if it's too much, don't bend the wrist as much. Bring it up. And don't push hard. Go to your natural stopping point. Relax. Don't worry about the thumbs for now. And again, close your eyes. Where are you feeling this? The palms, fingers, maybe the wrist, maybe the arms. 1, 2, 3, or all of these places. There's no right or wrong. We all have different bodies. And let's go to the other side. So just slowly, this time we're going to push back the other fingers of the other hand. Play both ways, bringing the fingers down or bringing them back. As I said, don't worry about the thumb. We'll do that afterwards. And again, keep the rest of the body relaxed. Go to your natural stopping point. Close your eyes. We'll be here for around a minute. Don't do it too much. How does it feel this side compared to the other side? You're bound to have more tension in one hand than the other. More than likely the one that you use more. Although not necessarily, actually. Okay, and then bring the fingers up, and then we will just press the thumbs against each other. So I'm doing it like this. You might want to do it like this. Play with it so that you're getting a stretch in the thumbs, both thumbs, for about half a minute, that's fine. Again, notice, is one more tense than the other? Okay, next out breath, let go and just rest the hands. If you turn them over, you might see that maybe they're a bit red. That's okay, that's normal. We just quite deeply stimulated them. And one of the reasons that we are stimulating the hands and the feet today to start with is in relation to the meridians or energy channels of the body, which Qi, as they would call in acupuncture, for example, acupressure, traditional Chinese medicine, and the main meridians, the major meridians, start or end in the hands and feet. Okay, so if you just want to make small fists, getting bigger and bigger, just to bring a little bit of a counter pose in. And we're going to move on to something relatively yang. It's all relative, yin and yang. So if you have your scarf or your strap or whatever it is that you have, I will use the scarf actually. Sorry, puss. Oops. Now I want you to use as little or as much as you want. You adjust it. So let's kind of start, kind of a medium amount here. But you make it as big or as small as you want to. Play with this, make it yours. So we're just going to start by pushing the arms out. If you don't have a scarf, you can still do this, it's fine. And I want you to round the spine. So as I mentioned at the start, Yang is more focused on the muscles. So we're pushing out here, we're holding on. We're actually pulling the scarf apart to a degree and pushing out, curving the spine, stretching the spine. Just breathe. Keep pushing out. And then straighten the spine. Bring the arms up and then bend the elbows and behind your head. It doesn't need to be exactly where mine is. What we're aiming for here is an opening in the chest. Again, play with the position of the hands if you want to. This is more just to give you a grip, as long as we've got this opening of the chest. Yeah, you can have it behind your neck, you can have it behind your head. You want to feel those muscles activated. And breathe. Close your eyes again if you like. Small back bend in the top of the back. And then bring the arms down. Again, adjust your hands if you need to. And this, we want to also open up the chest. But we want to have more of a back bend. So you're bringing the arms up behind here. I'll just show you. Bringing the arms up. You can take the head back if you want to. So we've got more of a back bend. Activating the arms, bringing them up. And then we're just going to move the shoulders. So you can bring the arms back forwards again. Readjust the hands if you need to. You might want to make this a little bit bigger. And then as if you are waving a flag or something at a football game. So you can bend the elbows, you can keep them straight. What we want here is the movement in the shoulders. So the arms are going back. They might not even go behind. This might just be above your head, as long as we've got this circular movement in the shoulders. And then make sure you go backwards. Play with the length. It doesn't matter how precise it is. It doesn't matter if it doesn't look like exactly what I'm doing at all, as long as we've got this rotation in the shoulder area. Okay. And then bring it down. Forwards again. Stretch up. Neutral spine, straight spine. Stretching up and then dropping to the left. And then just pulling gently on the left hand, pulling the scarf down a little bit to feel that stretch on the right hand side. Breathing. Breathe in, stretch up. And then breathe out, drop to the right. You can bend the right arm, that's fine. Whatever you need to do to feel a stretch on the left side, gently, gently pulling on the right side. Body a little bit that way to feel a stretch on the left side. And then as you breathe in, stretch up. And then as you breathe, just put the strap down for a moment. We're just going to bring some rotation into this area here. If you want to change your seated position, by the way, that's fine, doesn't matter. And we're just going to rotate. So just circle. Yeah, but you can do this in a cross-legged position as well, that's fine. Again, with all of these poses, you do not need to look like me in them. What I want you to feel is a rotation around the waist area. Yeah, you can put the hands on the floor. Doesn't need to be perfect. And then going back the other way. Rotating. Yeah. And then coming back to the center again. Bending the right knee, placing the foot on the floor, grabbing your whatever you've got. I'll show you from the side here. Putting the strap round the back of the foot. Bringing it up just a bit. And then what I want you to do is imagine that you're stirring this massive pot, cauldron of potion. Yeah, so we're stirring. So again, we are bringing in this movement in the hip joint, and then make sure you go the other way as well. Yeah, we want to be feeling the movement in the hip joint, and then you can start straightening the leg. It doesn't matter if you don't completely straighten it. What I'm looking for here is a stretch on the back of the leg. Bring the toes a bit further towards you so the heel's going out if you want more stretch. And you can move back as well. Again, put your hands on whichever part of the strap or the scarf you want. And you can start with a straight back, and then you can try curving the spine and noticing that stretch in the spine. So straight, curved, straight, curved. Feeling that stretch on the back of the thigh, and then bending the knee, taking it back down again. And then we will go to the other side. So left foot on the floor. Put the strap behind the ball of the foot, keeping it bent to start with, raising it up. And then bringing that movement in. As I said, use as little or as much of the strap as you want. Maybe some of you won't even want the strap. Maybe you just want to use your hands. That's fine, your hands on your foot. But just aim, and you'll probably want a bit more of the strap for this actually. For that movement in the leg. That circling movement, as big as you can do without, as always, without any pain. Making sure that you go both ways. And then starting to straighten the leg to a degree anyway. Maybe completely straight, maybe with a bit of a bend. Listen to your body. How much stretch do you want? Your leg may be much further up than mine. It may be further down. May have a bend, may not. Listen to the leg. Where is the point that you want to go where you've got a stretch in the back of the leg? And then again, straighten the spine and curve the spine and feel the difference in the back. Straighten as you breathe in. Curve as you breathe out. Straighten as you breathe in. Curve as you breathe out. Maybe rocking, maybe static. Bend the knee and place it on the floor. Okay, next we're going to move over onto our fronts. You may want blocks for the next bit. If you have them, you may not. Have them ready if you've got them. And move onto your hands and knees. We're going to start with some cat-cows. So as you breathe in, curve the spine. Look up as you breathe out. Curve the spine. Sorry, I meant arch the spine to start with. Pressing into the ground. Breathe in, arch. Looking up. Shoulders are going towards the back. Breathe out, really curve the spine as much as you can. Chin towards the chest. Breathe in, shoulder blades going back and towards each other, head going up. Breathe out, curving the spine, chin towards the chest, belly drawing in. One more time, breathe in, arch. Moving a bit if you want to, you don't need to be static. Breathe out, curve. Next in-breath, we're coming to a neutral spine. This is how your spine should feel with normal posture, by the way. Just note that while you're here. And then we're going to move slowly into a down dog. So start with, tuck the toes under, and then bend your knees and keep them bent to start with. Start bringing your hips back and up. Slowly, slowly, keeping the knees bent, hips continuing to go back and up. Keep the knees bent if you like, or you can straighten them. You choose. Pushing the hands into the floor, bringing the shoulder blades towards one another to open up the chest. Bringing the heels towards the floor. You can walk the heels if you like. Walk it out. We want to be feeling a stretch in the backs of the legs. And on the next out breath, you can either come down to your knees, or we're going to be bringing the right foot between the hands. So you choose, either come down onto your knees and bring the right foot between the hands, or if you prefer, you can bring the right foot up, and from there, bring it in between the hands. Then drop the back knee down. So we're all landing in this position. You may want to use your blocks here. Just move the front foot if you need to so that there's no pressure in the knee. Generally a right angle, but not necessarily for everybody. And then as you imagine that there is a magnet between the legs, so the legs are strong and they're attracted to each other. Yeah, so keep the legs strong. As you breathe in, stretch up. As you breathe out, drop down and bring the elbows down to open up the chest, shoulder blades towards each other. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, elbows down, open up the chest, drop into that back hip, but keep the legs strong. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out again, one more time, coming down, keep the legs strong. Breathe in, arms go out. Breathe out, turn to the side, to the right. Back hand goes on the leg, turn the front palm over, and then just come up to the point where you can start to feel a bit more of a stretch on the front of the thigh. Be careful of the lower back, keep those legs strong, magnetized towards each other. Breathe. Breathe out, arms come up, back to the sides. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, hands on the inside of the foot. We're going to drop down again, still keeping those legs strong, but we're going to wing this leg out a bit. So you might go up on the side of the foot. You might want to move the foot a bit to the right. You might want to put your hands on a block. You might want to put your elbows on a block. So just play with it. What we want to be feeling, our target area here is the inside of the right leg. And you may be feeling it in the hip flexor of the back leg. So as you breathe out, you can drop down a little bit deeper, but just keep that strength in the legs. And if you're feeling this in the knee, if it's not working, you can play with the position of the foot or come out. Okay, on the next out breath, bring the foot back down.
Take that right foot back and then just move into a child's pose. And then from here, you can either go back onto hands and knees and take the left foot forward, or you can go into down dog. And then you can bring the left foot between the hands from here. Bringing the back knee down. So we're all in this lunge. Play with the position of the front foot. So there's no pressure in the knee. Push into the floor, keep those legs strong, attracted to each other. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, open the chest, elbows come down. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, drop down. Elbows come down. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, elbows come down. Out to the sides and twist to the left. Back arm onto the back of the leg. Look to the front hand, turn the palm over, and then just come up. Keep those legs strong and only go to the point that feels okay for you. Anything is feeling painful, go back to the upright position. Okay, next out breath, arms come back down to the sides. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, hands come onto the inside of the left foot. Remember, you can use a block if you want to. Play with the position. And you can either keep the sole on the floor, or you can go onto the side of the foot. On the hands, maybe up on the fingertips, maybe on a block. Maybe your elbows are on a block. Maybe you aren't even using a block at all. Keep those legs strong. And then as you breathe out, just dip a little bit deeper down. Okay, next in-breath. Bring that foot back up if it's not already there. And then you can take that front foot to join the back. And again, move into a child's pose. You can keep the arms outstretched, or you can put them by your sides if you like. And then when you're ready, turn over and lie on your back. Grab your scarf or whatever it is that you've got. And we're just going to stretch these legs out one more time. So bend the right leg, place the scarf on the foot, straighten the leg. As I said, doesn't need to be completely straight at all. It's fine if there's a bend in the knee. We're looking for a stretch on the back line of the leg again. So you can hold the scarf wherever you like. Let's see if you can keep the shoulders fairly far down, the back fairly flat. If you want more stretch, you might want to bring the toes more towards you, pushing the heel more up. If you want less, the opposite, and or bend the knee. We want to be activating the muscles. We want to feel this in the back of the leg, but I don't want it to be hurting you. Bend the knee. And then just for a short twist, guide that knee over to the left. And just twist the body a bit over to the right. Doesn't matter if the knee doesn't touch the floor. Just for a short twist. Okay, bring that knee back up. Straighten out the leg. Bend the left leg. Scarf again on the foot. Straighten out that leg. Maybe completely straight, maybe not. Feeling the stretch on the back of the leg. Again, the leg may be up here. For some, it may be further down. For others, it may be closer to the head. Neither is right nor wrong. It's just your body, how much yoga you've done, what your skeleton's like. Push the heel up if you want more stretch. Push the toes up if you want less. Bend the knee if you want less. If you'd like a bit more, then you can always bring the leg a little bit more towards you. Really nice to do this stretch before bed. Bend the knee. Take the scarf away. Guide that knee over to the right. Twist the body to the left. Relax. Just for a few breaths. Okay, and then on your next in-breath, bring that knee up. Straighten the legs out. And from here, we move into Shavasana. So get comfortable, get warm. I suggest staying here for at least a couple of minutes. Close your eyes. Let the ground support you. An hour 45 minutes is coming to a close, but please do stay for longer. I'm going to leave you now. But stay at least for a couple more minutes, take in the effects and even go to sleep. If you enjoyed the Yin Yoga part of this class, then please do take a look at my Yin Yoga class on Thursday in my events section. Otherwise, thank you for joining. Enjoy your Shavasana.